Miss Barrett?
How do you do, Mr. Browning?
Dear Miss Barrett, at last, at last.
I've had to put off the pleasure of meeting you much longer than I'd wished.
Would you ever have received me if I hadn't been so tiresomely insistent?
But, well, won't you take off your cloak?
Thank you.
I hope you won't find the room very close, Mr. Browning.
No, it's wonderful. You may think, Miss Barrett, that this is the first time I've been here. You're quite wrong, you know. I've seen this room more times than I can remember. Before I came in, I knew exactly how your books were arranged, just how that tendril of ivy slanted across the window panes. And that bust of Homer is quite an old friend.
Come, Mr. Browning. I know that dear Mr. Kenyon's never tired of talking about his friends, but I can't believe he described my poor little room to in detail.
I dragged all the details I possibly could out of him, and my imagination supplied the rest. Directly after I'd read your brave and lovely verses, I was greedy for anything and everything I could get about
But you frightened me, Mr. Browning.
Why?
You know how Mr. Kenyon's enthusiasms run away with his tongue. He and I are dearest friends. What he told you about me, I quite blushed to imagine.
He never told me anything about you personally that had the slightest interest for me.
No?
Everything he could give me about your surroundings, the circumstances of your life, I snatched at with avidity. But all he said about you was quite beside the point, because I knew it already.
Mr. Browning, do my poor writings give me so hopelessly away?
Hopelessly, utterly, and entirely. To me, I can't speak for the rest of the world.
You frighten me again.
No.
But you do, for I feel it to be quite useless, my ever trying to play act with you.
Quite useless.
I shall always have to be just myself?
Always.
And you too, Mr. Browning?
Always. Just myself. But really, you know, Miss Barrett, I shan't be able to take much credit for that. Being myself comes to me as easily as breathing. It's play acting I can't manage.
Extraordinary. When you're writing, you never do anything else but play acting. You've never been yourself in any one of your poems. It's always someone else speaking through you.
Yes, and shall I tell you why? I'm a very modest man. I am, really.
I didn't question that, Mr. Browning.
So modest, I fully realize that if I wrote about myself, my hopes and fears, hates and loves and all the rest of it, my poems would be unutterably dull.
Since we're pledged to nothing but the truth, I shan't contradict that until I know you better.
Bravo!
But those poems of yours, with their great and glad-hearted acceptance of life, you can't imagine what they mean to me. Here am I, shut in by four walls, the view of Wimpole Street, my only glimpse of the world. They troop into my room and round my sofa, those wonderful people of yours out of every age and country, and also tingling with life. They will never begin to realize how much I owe you.
You really mean that? Well, yes, of course you do, or you wouldn't say it. And you will believe me when I tell you that what you've just said makes up to me, 1,000 times over for all the cold shouldering I've had from the public.
It infuriates me. Why can we never know an eagle for an eagle until it's spread its wings and flown away from us for good?
Mind you, Miss Barrett, I've an uneasy feeling that my style is largely to blame for my unpopularity.
Oh, but surely not.
No. Didn't we agree not to play act with each other?
Well, perhaps there are passages in your work a little too a little too profound for the general reader.
Oh?
I've marked one in your Sordella, which always puzzles me.
Sordella?
Here, for instance.
You know, somebody once called this a horror of great darkness. I've always done my best to forget it. However, with flowers in completeness, all petals, no prickles, delicious as trickles as flowers in completeness. Oh, that's extraordinary. Extraordinary. But a passage torn from its context is always...
Well, Mr. Browning?
Oh, well, Miss Barrett. When that passage was written, only God and Robert Browning understood it. Now only God understands it. What do you say? Shall we lighten this great darkness by pitching it on the fire?
Oh, no, indeed, we shall do nothing of the kind. Please give me back the book, Mr. Browning. Such passages are only spots on the sun. I love Sordella.
You do? But of course you would. And shall I tell you why? Because it's such a colossal failure.
If by failure you mean an attempt, yes, you're right. That's just why Sordella appeals to my very heart. For I too am always making colossal attempts and always failing.
Oh, but isn't one such failure worth 100 small successes?
Oh, 1,000 and more.
You think so too? Yeah, but of course I knew that. Kenyon had no need to describe you. I'd painted the portrait with a true soul of you, ardent and lovely, looking out of it.
Ardent and lovely? And you think you know me? Oh, Mr. Browning, too often impatient and rebellious.
Well, what of it? I've no love for perfect patience under affliction. My portrait's the portrait of a woman, not of a saint. And besides, who has more right to be impatient and rebellious than you?
Did Mr. Kenyon paint my background with a very gloomy brush? I suppose he told you that I'm a dying woman.
We're all of us dying.
Frankly, Mr. Browning, do you find me such a pitiable object?
I find you as I expected to find you, full of courage and gaiety. And yet, in spite of what you say, I'm not at all sure that Kenyon's colours were too sombre. No, listen to me. Those colours are not yet dry. They must be scraped off. The whole background must be repainted. And if only you'll allow it, I must have a hand in that splendid task. Now, listen. You say my verses have helped you. They're nothing to I who am going to help you now. We've come together at last, and I don't intend to let you go again. No, listen to me. Give me your hands. I've more life in me than is good for one man. It seethes and races in me. Up to now, I've spent a little of that surplus energy in creating imaginary men and women. But I've still so much that I've no use for but to give. Mayn't I give it to you? Don't you feel new life tingling up your fingers and arms, right into your heart and brain?
Please, Mr. Browning, please let go of my hands. Well, rather an overwhelming person, and so but prove
No, don't you dare tell me again that you're afraid of me. You're not. It's life you're afraid of, and that shouldn't be.
Life?
Yes, life.
Well, when life becomes a series of electric shocks. Do you affect other people in the same way?
They've often told me so.
No wonder I hesitated about meeting you, much as I wanted to.
Miss Barrett, do you remember the first letter I ever wrote you?
Oh, yes, indeed. It was a wonderful letter.
You may have thought I dashed it off in a fit of white-hot enthusiasm over your poem. I didn't. I weighed every word of every sentence, and of one sentence in particular. This sentence. I love your verses with all my heart. And I love you, too. Remember?
Yes, I thought charmingly impulsive of it.
There was nothing impulsive about it. I said love, and I mean love.
Really, Mr. Browning?
Miss Barrett, I'm neither mad nor morbidly impressionable. I'm as sane and level-headed as any man alive. Yet all these months, I've been haunted by you. And today you are the center of my life.
If I were to take you seriously, Mr. Browning, it would of course mean the quick finish of a friendship, which promises to be very pleasant to us both.
Why?
You know very well that love, in the sense that you apparently use the word, has no place, and can have no place in my life.
Why?
For many reasons. But let this suffice. As I told you before, I'm a dying woman.
I refuse to believe it. For if that was so, God would be callous. And I know that he's compassionate. My life would be dark and evil, and I know that it's good. You must never say such a thing again. I forbid you to.
Forbid, Mr.
Yes, I forbid it. After all, if you forbid me to speak of you as I feel, isn't it only fair that I should be allowed a little forbidding as well?
Yes.
Dear Miss Barrett, what a splendid beginning to our friendship. We've talked intimately of art and life and death and love. We've ordered each other about. We've almost quarreled. Could anything be happier and more promising? Well, with your permission, I'm going now. When may I call on you again?
I don't quite know.
Will next Wednesday suit you?
Oh, yes, I think, but perhaps it would be better.
Next Wednesday, then.
Ah, yes.
At 3:30 again?
Yes, but I think...
Au revoir.
Goodbye.
Au revoir.
Au revoir.
Thank you.